And for the next person I'm going to go ahead and throw on here, I'm going to go ahead and put Conor McGregor in the very bottom tier.
Folks, it is starting to feel like fall outside and I am loving it. Hey Siri, when does fall start?
Fall begins September 22nd, 2021.
Okay. Well, I'm a couple weeks off, but we're getting close to fall. And if you're an MMA fan, UFC fan, the second half of the year and the fall specifically is a great time. We have 2 title fights this month, the tough finale. Next month, another 2 title fights, light heavyweight championship, bantamweight championship. November, we have the MSG card. December, we have 3 title fights. That's probably going to be the end of the year finale for the UFC. We have the Contender Series back, always comes back this time of the year. Fight nights are stacked as well. And as the kids say, spooky season is almost upon us, which is going to lead me into today's video. I'm going to be ranking the scariest fighters in the UFC. Before we get into all that though, I'm going to go to jiu-jitsu. I'm going to go there, come back home, shower up, and I'll catch you guys on the tripod.
Alrighty folks, so we have the scariest fighters in the UFC. I'm going to be doing a tier list. As you can see, I have 3 different categories. The top being the scariest, that is I need to check my underwear. The second scariest kind of being the middle ground, like these people are definitely scary, but not as scary as the people on the top. Now just the pucker string is still holding up, and the bottom tier is just scary. As you can see, I have 12 fighters, all from the UFC, current UFC roster. I mean, Habib is technically retired, but nonetheless, all these people are still, I think, on the UFC roster. And yes, I am wearing a rash guard. I just got back from jiu-jitsu. I still need a shower. Nonetheless, though, I'm going to go ahead and jump into these fighters, go ahead and get going. I'm going to get one of these fighters, and I'm going to place them in the I need to check my underwear category. And the first person I'm going to pick is probably going to surprise you, and that's going to be Mr. Darren Elkins. I'm going to be putting him in the I need to check my underwear category. I'm not sure if a lot of you guys are familiar with who Darren Elkins is. He's honestly, in my opinion, one of the most durable dudes, kind of like a Nate Diaz kind of guy. Like, he's just going to take all your shots. He has insane cardio. He's not going to go anywhere. You literally have to like separate him from consciousness in order to have him stop coming at you. So that is my first fighter that I'm going to be putting in the I need to check my underwear category. Someone I'm going to put in the pucker string is still holding up category, just to mix things up, keep it diverse. This one's going to probably surprise you guys, but I'm going to be putting Max Holloway in this category. The reason with Max Holloway is a lot of these people I'm judging it on actual ability, skill, which Max Holloway has the technical ability, the skill, and aura, and like the intangibles of like chin, punching power, that kind of thing. And the thing is with Max Holloway, I don't think he really has that aura where like I'm terrified of this guy, kind of like I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, like a Habib kind of guy. Like, he's a pretty scary dude. Holloway doesn't have that. He's actually a pretty nice guy. And in terms of like punching power, he doesn't, I mean, the man can't really bust a grape. He has phenomenal boxing though, insane cardio. The scary thing about Max Holloway is he actually gains energy as the rounds go on. Keep it rolling. Go ahead, put someone on the scary, just so we can get all 3 bases covered before we really get into it. I'm going to go ahead and put Khamzat Chimaev, again, another shocker. The reason I put Khamzat here is simply because Khamzat has only had, what, like 3 fights in the UFC, and he really hasn't fought anybody of note. Now, mind you, he has had, what, 3 fights in the UFC, and his total fight time has been, like, I don't know, like 3 minutes total. So I mean, that is pretty terrifying, all finishes. But I think he's one of those people that could quickly climb this list all the way to the top, the very top tier. But right now he's just young in the UFC. We haven't really seen much from him against top ranked people. We'll find out though. He does have a tough fight booked for him next month. Keep it rolling though with the top tier. I'm gonna go ahead and place Habib Nurmagomedov, just because I feel like that's just like an obvious one. I mean, I talked about him earlier. I mean, he's undefeated. He doesn't even look like he's a beatable guy. I mean, you can't deny the fact that he's definitely up there as one of the best fighters of all time. So that's why, I mean, very little explaining, I feel like, for putting Habib in that top category. And then keep it rolling. I'm gonna fill up the top bar, and then we'll keep moving down. I'm gonna go ahead and put Justin Gaethje up here as well, simply because Justin Gaethje, his mindset's pretty terrifying. Talking about creating car crashes in front of people, and there's a certain zone of danger, and if you get in there, you're pretty much gonna be entering into a car crash. He has insane leg kicks. He has insane punching power, and his technical ability and skill is really sharpened up in his last couple fights. Like, he's really become a well-rounded boxer. I mean, he has insane power. He has that dog inside of him. Like, he's not going to go anywhere. It's like his very first fight in the UFC against Michael Johnson. He was getting beat. Like, it looked like Michael Johnson was actually going to put him away at one point, but just Gaethje is so flippin' tough. He didn't go anywhere, and he eventually wore Michael Johnson out and ended up putting him away. Justin Gaethje is a very scary man, and that's why I'm putting him in this top tier. And on to the next person. I'm going to go ahead and put Kamaru Usman into the second tier, simply because Kamaru Usman is very, very skilled. You can't deny that. Same thing with Max Holloway, and he does have finishing ability. Majority of his fights, Usman does kind of seem like a decision fighter, where he's just going to grind you out and just beat you on points and leave absolutely no room for question, which is a very dominant way to fight. But if you're an opponent, you're like, okay, this isn't super scary because if he just grinds me out to a decision, I mean, like at worst, it's just the same thing with Max Holloway, but with grappling. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna get finished in devastating fashion, even though his last fight was pretty terrifying. Overall, I don't think as Kamaru Usman as somebody who's a finisher. I think of him more as a decision fighter, and that's why I'm putting him in this second category. And for the next person I'm gonna go ahead and throw on here, I'm gonna go ahead and put Conor McGregor in the very bottom tier, simply because Conor McGregor, a couple years ago, I probably would have bumped Conor McGregor up a tier or two, but I just feel like right now all the dude does is talk. The scariest thing he does is talk, but I mean, he hasn't beat anybody since, I mean, he beat Cowboy, but everybody pretty much expected Cowboy to lose that fight, and especially against someone like Conor McGregor, who just comes out guns blazing the first round, and Cowboy is the exact opposite. I feel like the result you saw, like Cowboy getting finished in 40 seconds, was the result from a lot of people. Like, if you know anything about MMA, that's pretty much the result you would have expected. And I don't know, I think Conor, the blueprint is out there to beat him. Like, if you can just wear him out, get him past the first, second round, use some grappling against him, because obviously grappling seems to be a big exploit. So that's why I'm putting him down there. Keeping it rolling, I'm gonna go ahead and throw Nate Diaz, a rival of Conor McGregor. I'm throwing him up in the top tier. Nate Diaz, just because, same thing with Darren Elkins, dude's incredibly durable. He can go the whole entire fight getting the snot beat out of him and still just wear you out eventually, because you're just beating the snot out of him the whole time. You're just putting output out that you're eventually gonna get tired, and then he's gonna take over. I mean, you can never count him out of a fight. At any point of the fight, he can put you away. I mean, look at his last fight against Leon Edwards. Was getting the snot beat out of him the whole entire time, caught him with that one punch, and I really think if he didn't sit there and dance around in front of him and actually put it on him after he hurt Edwards, he could have potentially put him away, because he really had Edwards rocked. Keeping it rolling, Francis Ngannou, I'm having a very hard time with this, debating this back and forth, and I really don't know, because in terms of like actual athletic ability, punching power, things like that, you can't deny Francis Ngannou has that aura. Francis Ngannou has that technical ability, skill. That's where I'm a little bit that's where I'm a little bit nervous. His striking does look improved in comparison to his previous fights, especially the first Stipe fight. Like, he showed too, he can stuff a takedown, which is pretty big. But if you watch someone like Cyril Gane definitely set a new standard for heavyweight striking. So I'm kind of nervous, because I feel like Francis, and actually more I'm thinking about it, I'm probably actually going to put Francis in this top tier, simply because his punching power makes up for so much of that technical ability, because it's the nuclear bomb. And then now I have 3 fighters left. Tony Ferguson, I'm going to put Tony Ferguson in the pucker string is still holding up category. Maybe a year or two ago I would have put Tony Ferguson a notch higher, but right now he's definitely taken a step down in comparison to what Tony Ferguson used to be. And the thing is with Tony Ferguson, we talk about technical ability and skill, dude is very talented, but the thing is he's super unorthodox, that there's things he does do that put him in danger. I mean, we've seen Tony Ferguson get hurt even when he was on that insane 12-fight win streak, but in terms of cardio, off the charts. He's got that dog in him, and he's going to keep coming at you, and you literally have to put him away. He's so flippin' tough that he's not going to tap. You could completely bend his arm in disgusting ways, torque his knees, rip his knee ligaments. He's not going to tap. You literally have to separate him from consciousness. He's a very tough guy, but I honestly believe that just where his career's gone in the past year and his unorthodox approach and fighting style is going to put him in that second category. And next, I'm going to go ahead and throw Amanda Nunes in the top tier, simply because Amanda Nunes, like, skillfully off the charts, has the punching power. You can't deny that. I mean, she flipping puts Chris Cyborg flat on her face. And on top of that, she has the aura. She's probably the best female fighter of all time and one of the best mixed martial artists of all time. I don't see anybody taking either of those belts from her anytime soon. She's a double champ, and I don't see her losing any of those belts. Keeping it rolling, though, gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I have Yuri Prochazka on the pucker string and still holding up category. Now, Yuri Prochazka is definitely a scary dude. He has punching power. Same thing with Tony Ferguson, though. He does a lot of unorthodox things. Now, those unorthodox things do work in his favor sometimes, because it's kind of hard to prepare for, but it also puts you in danger a lot of times. We haven't really seen it too much in the UFC. We may see it when he does fight for the title, because I think it is inevitable that he will fight for the title. I think he could potentially make a jump, but I'm just not sure on him yet, so that's why I'm putting him in the middle category. I'm not going to put him at the bottom saying he's just scary, and I'm not going to put him at the top saying he's terrifying, so I'm going to put him in that middle ground. I'm curious, though, to hear who do you guys have in some of these tiers. You guys may have people different than me. I mean, again, this is completely subjective to me. This is just how I see things, and this is just, I am a fan of some of these people more than I am of other people, so that's probably why I'm ranking people there. Comment down in the comment section below, where would you guys rank some of these people? Where do you guys think I messed up? Where would you guys swap people? I'm just curious to hear your guys' opinions. I hope you guys did enjoy this video.
video. If you guys did, please be sure to drop a like, share this video. If you guys know anyone else that enjoy my type of content, please send my video their way. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm really trying to grow something out of this channel, and the likes, the comment, the subscribe, everything you guys give me, it's completely free to you guys and it's invaluable to me, so I greatly appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, I'll catch you guys later.